and we ran out of blunts yet about two.
What in the world is going on here?
Some esoteric stuff going on, folks.
It looks artsy and fartsy.
It
and
does.
it's gonna be, and we are carrying paints.
That is paint. I thought it was mustard.
Yours looks like mustard. Mine looks
like barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce. Oh, it's purple.
Purple
We're gonna
barbecue
set this
sauce.
right here, and we're pretty excited about this. This is gonna be fascinating. You guys are in a treat to see something that I don't think you've ever seen before. What episode was VESA on? Like 130?
Episode was 130, yeah. If you guys go upstairs, where I think most people are right now, they, in the very back, over to the left, there is the area where VESA has all this really cool multimedia stuff that he's put together.
Yeah, VESA is an international artist. He does stuff unlike you've seen before.
He's international and online.
Yeah, a little bit about he's a crypto artist, performer, keynote speaker, best known for working with a Bollywood actress by the name of Veena Malik. It was a world-changing collaboration, which was seen by just about 300 million people.
That's not very many.
You know, really
That's about
small.
as many people as in this room.
Yeah, and he's got a unique.
There's lights on my face. I can't really tell.
Oh, hello.
Wow,
He's got a
4
mixed
million,
media approach to doing his art, and we're going to interview him upstairs after his demonstration here, after he performs, and we're going to get to, I'm really humbled by this, because he left a little space on the art that he created for Bad Crypto for us to, it's like, I almost feel like it's sacrilege to put anything on this thing of me. I'm not an artist.
You are not an artist.
I'm an artist of
You're
words.
a financial advisor, remember?
I'm not a financial advisor either. I am not any of that. So should we bring what you know what we're in for? I know what we're in for. They don't know what they're in for.
You guys do not know what you're in for, and that is perfect.
So please welcome to the World CryptoCon stage, VESA.
And I guess his assistant, Allyson.
And his assistant, Allyson.
Oh, here's Allyson right here.
Who
Hello,
is
Allyson.
going to be the canvas for today's work.
And then VESA will show up shortly.
Where's VESA?
No,
There he
I'm
is.
coming later. Just come
Nope,
out.
we're not doing
No?
that. Oh, we're
Okay.
leaving.
So
we
he's
leave.
like, just get off
This
the
is
stage.
performance art, damn it.
Yeah, here we go.
All right.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Give it up for the gracious, glorious, and powerful Allyson. Thank you. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? It's just goddamn bright. I can't see anything. Cool. This here performance was inspired by this Japanese concept called kintsukuroi that I got to know a little bit earlier. And I just thought it was really profoundly beautiful because they have this idea, the Japanese, that if a bowl gets broken and you put it back together again with silver or gold lacquer, it's more beautiful because it has a history and it's been put back together with love. Jesus, I'm leaking this gold stuff. I thought it applies not only to pottery but to human beings as well. We all encounter some sort of trauma, and we at this moment in time, we have a lot of different systems like money that is in need of healing. So in context for this performance, maybe Bitcoin is the goal to our monetary system. And that's how this dance performance was relevant to what it is that is happening here and how creativity can help communicate the whole idea of what is going on in crypto to those who might have only heard about Bitcoin in passing. So art, modern art is bullshit, right? That's what a lot of people say. That's what a lot of people believe. And I don't necessarily disagree with a lot of those statements that are here. Like these days, often art is associated with nonsense and pretentiousness, something that costs a lot and won't recuperate your investment, luxury items to showing off status. And here, what you can't see because of this piece is a way of bleeding hearts to complain about the world. And I'm a little bit guilty in my previous life about the complaining through art until I really got that it's important to build something. And how we get there is that art used to stand for the Renaissance period, the Michelangelos, the Da Vincis. They didn't only criticize society, they built stuff. The Renaissance stood for that art was involved in all things in society. And it helped to build from flying machines to divine inspiration and something that has inspired awe and tourism for centuries. I mean, the Sistine Chapel is a beautiful building, but without the art in there, it's you get what I'm saying. And those artists at that time, they captured what the zeitgeist of that period was, and that's why it was so important. And the artists were innovators.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the information purification directives. We have created, for the first time in all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests, obeying contradictory thoughts. The force is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
What a powerful advert, huh? Apple, 1984, cost $1 million. Obviously, the dollar was a lot more valuable back then, and it was quite the uproar to make something that is so short with $1 million. And Apple today is a $1 trillion company, and I would say it is because they came right out of the gate integrating art and communication to a technology company in order to transform the world. And my argument is that art is not only an afterthought. It's not something that is a luxury item or something that you can put on top of everything once you've built it. You need to integrate it in order to thrive in today's world, because if you don't communicate the technology, you won't inspire people. You can't grow, and especially everything that is happening with artificial intelligence. Today, creativity is becoming more and more important. Even though the schooling system doesn't really even integrate it, even still today, those who are the pioneers who want to succeed, this is a must, not a maybe. In order for you to maybe substantiate a little bit of who it is that I am, because many of you might have not heard of me before, and I'm very privileged to have this spot to be presenting this, but in order for maybe allow me to tell a little bit about my history. And this piece right here is called The Beginning of a New Era, and it was done in collaboration with a Bollywood superstar actress in 2013 when we launched this, because she's Pakistani and Muslim, and at that time the divine feminine kind of energy, the revolution of women and their empowerment was right at the cusp of everything. So I love these kinds of projects that touch upon the very current curve of what's going on. And in this one, we announced that women are here and they're not going anywhere. And because of her background, these 6 art pieces that we made together with her, they commented upon the common origin of all spirituality all over the world. No matter where you come from, you can connect to the same source. And because of her background and what we said, it went to about 300 million people all over the world. And this is only the legacy media, and that's a conservative estimate, and no one really knows what the viral media was like. I certainly didn't have the resources to count what was going on, but we made a dent. We changed the world, and we got a lot of people's attention. So I've already changed the world once. I know I can do it again. And the title of this talk is The Future of Crypto Art. And it's not even evident to artists themselves that paint is technology. It's just a very old one. And the story of crypto is happening in real time in front of us all the time. This is the revolution. This is why I'm in this space, because I realized how important it was. And I got to be one of the people on this kind of a stage to help communicate the story of crypto potentially to the masses. And I'm so very privileged to be here. And here's a little bit of a video of how I'm telling this story.
Come on.
The fork and flip piece took me by complete surprise, I suppose because my own entry point to the symbolism was quite shallow. I just, to begin with, thought of the bull as something to be associated with the animalistic and perhaps the negative side of capitalism, and people jumping from buildings when their investments had tanked and that kind of thing. And I was about to be revealed just how much more there is to these two opposing forces of the bull and the bear.
The bull was a Christmas gift to the people of New York City after the 1987 stock market crash. Arturo claims the New York Stock Exchange wanted a bear, too, but that wasn't in the cards.
Ah! Oh, look, an eagle!
And I started thinking about the significance, the frontier spirit of New York, of what it's always stood for. And of course, the ghost of the happening of 9/11 is still hanging over it a little bit, and the financial Wall Street crisis, that bubble bursting, and that being really the birth of digital currency at the same time. So those events are all interlinked. So I thought, because it's crypto is quite the walk on a wire, and Philippe Petit also, of course, famously walked in between the World Trade Center buildings, and this time he's walking from the wire that is stretched to the digital unknown from the Freedom Tower, as a lot of the government operations are cracking down on cryptocurrencies, and many of the entrepreneurs are actually leaving not only New York but the cryptocurrency space of US to go elsewhere.
Hotel casinos would host atomic parties on their rooftops. Guests would drink until dawn and finish their evening with a nuclear blast.
So this was the first bit of intriguing history that I came across regarding this city that has a current relevance, because the explosion now going on in Vegas is the adoption of cryptocurrencies into the casinos. So the mushroom cloud explosion in the form of a Bitcoin here is leaking these altcoins into the code-made skyline of the city.
So this piece is made for this conference. It's called Beyond Moon. And it's got a lot of symbolism. If you want to go and check it out on my website, you'll see the full stories there. But it was so much fun doing all this research about the history of Vegas and what's going on here right now and what the future of it will be. So this is my way of how I was helping to brand this conference as what it is and tie it to the local climate. So next I want to talk about the pizza effect, the global tangibility of crypto. It's pretty much the movement forward started happening in crypto when those two pizzas were bought. And high abstractions in this world are money, art, spirituality, and even love. And some people think that all of those are just bullshit. Or some people think that those are the most valuable achievements or experiences of what we have in life. So somehow, though, you need to make things tangible. And now that we have all of this global power with cryptocurrencies and governments we're negotiating what's happening in the world right now, I think one of the great things what we should be doing with our crypto companies is that now that we're global, we need to accept responsibility on a global scale of what is going on, because we are still really interconnected as a species, even through oceans. Most importantly through oceans. And this guy here I've been following for years, Boyan Slat, and he's made miracles happen with cleaning the world's oceans from plastic. And I would love to see crypto companies helping support projects like these. And even if your heart is not in it, you realize that, you know, if you clean oceans and you make advertising about that for yourself, the effect is going to be there, even if you're a little bit more about the money side. So no one can lose in these kinds of endeavors. So I believe the Medicis of tomorrow and even today are going to be coming from the cryptocurrency space, because I don't know that many Wall Street investors, but the mentality those guys have, as opposed to everyone that I've met in crypto, is quite different, right? So Malcolm Forbes famously said, putting pen to paper lights more fire than matches ever will. And in my context, it's putting brush to canvas. In your context, it's maybe applying your currency to something tangible that people can feel and get behind. This here is the Forever Rose by Kevin Abosch, who's in the stratosphere as an artist, and he's doing very, very cool things in the crypto art space. And the second one down, it was $1 million, and it was auctioned for charity, which is a great, great project. And the one below is the Dragon Crypto Kitty, and that's the most expensive kitty at $170,000 at this moment. And while I applaud everything that these guys are doing, and I think it's super cool, I don't think the artwork itself is where it can be yet. So this is my contribution to the space. And I want to show you a little bit of the history of what is going on with a Finnish company called Flyer and with a Swedish company called Waver. We're doing the very first augmented reality piece. So this is up by the Primrose Hall. There's a big wall for crypto art that we built with Adam, who's a rock star conference guy, and I'm so grateful for the support that he's given. And everyone at VCC, all the founders and all the people working here, this is an incredible thing that we're finally putting the creativity to the front side and helping people understand why this is valuable and not an afterthought, like I said. So this is the first augmented reality piece. If you look at it and you're not in Bitcoin, it just might look like a modern art mess. But if you know what it is, the augmented reality is helping to see the depth underneath, and that was the point. And here's a preview of some of the stuff. The Bad Crypto podcast piece is there, all these cool things. So please come and see me and the gallerist, Mona Trantursini, who's kindly welcoming people there as well. So come and talk to us, no pressure to buy or anything. I'm just really happy to share these stories and get you guys inspired as much as I am. The second thing is, this is Ganesh, the god from the Hindu traditions for justice. And basically, he's in virtual reality. This is a demo. This is not finished yet. I'm sure you guys are used to this by now, that everyone comes on stages and presents not finished projects. But yeah, thanks, Michael. So this is the thing. It's not there yet by any stretch of the imagination, but I did want to present this to you guys because it's something that I'm very, very enthusiastic about, that we're building a platform to integrate blockchain virtual reality and cryptocurrency all together. Because I don't care, even if you own Guernica, and as great and phenomenal as that art piece is, and as big as it is, once you get that you can build substantial art into virtual reality environments, and you can interact with that art, game is over for the old art world. We're entering a new phase, and I want to be riding the wave. A little bit of background. This art piece was on stage at the Malta Blockchain Summit yesterday at the Blockchain Awards, and the guest of honor was the president of Malta. And it was their 400 top companies, which was awesome. I basically made an art piece. I'm not going to go into the story further about the past, present, and future of Malta and cryptocurrencies, and it was auctioned for charity, and it had the privilege of sharing the stage yesterday with the AI robot Sophia, who famously has the Saudi Arabian citizenship, which is something that I find a little strange, but cool at the same time. So here on stage with me is a piece called Silk Road, and this is a charity auction happening here right now throughout this conference. On my website, this piece is marked at $50,000, and we're starting this auction at $5,000, and we're auctioning it with Ross and Lynn Ulbrich for this Free Ross campaign. And it's about, basically, it was a meditation, again, on the same theme. Now that we have a lot of power, what's our reflective power? Like, as a lame car analogy, I suppose, if you have a powerful engine, you need good suspension and you need good brakes. If no one is monitoring you, you need to monitor yourself. So it's a piece about responsibility and the past of Silk Road, but most importantly, what's going to happen now? How does it reflect on your thing? And no matter what you think of Ross or the Silk Road and whatever, I have my own views, but I certainly think the guy should not be in jail for the rest of his life. And I'm glad to help maybe unite that family, because it's all about the pottery being put back together with love. And I'm just happy to learn that Ross's attitude, despite him being in a very, very dark place, is one of accepting responsibility for what he's done and learning and growing as we all are. So please come and bid for this art piece. It's important. Something that was very cool that just happened as well is that Codex Protocol is a provenance system for 6 billion of art already available via cryptocurrencies, and these guys are becoming the industry standard and doing great, great things in the space. And just 2 days ago, they gave me the privilege, even before all the big museums and all that stuff, for me to have this login as VESA, that any piece that gets bought is going to be verified by VESA instead of a blockchain address. And I'm very, very honored to have this. And that was very cool. But whoever buys the first art piece from here is going to have that, the very first verified by VESA. So you'll get to have this history with you too. Here's how you find me. Unfortunately, now well, you'll find me anywhere if you want. This is not for everyone. For those who are in the inn, they're going to find me. So that's the blockchain arts part. That's my older platform with the body painting, the Vina Malik stuff and everything. And there's also one platform for all the crypto merchandising. I write for News BTC, and that's my stuff. Thank you very much for your time and your attention. I hope this was something that was valuable to you. I'm privileged to be here. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, VCC. Rockstar stuff. Thank you.
Thanks, Vesa. Thank you, man. That was absolutely incredible. Now, can I just ask Allyson to come out and clean up this terrible mess that she made here? It was worthwhile. That was an incredibly awesome performance. I was actually very touched by that. I do work, in all seriousness, I know I crack a lot of jokes, but I do work with a lot of artists, other blockchain artists and artists in general, musicians and dancers, with my spiritual partner in Marrakesh, and we try and do as much as we can to support the art community. So this was very, very beautiful for me. We are going to take a couple of minutes break. We're going to entertain you with a little bit of music. Feel free to stand up and dance. You can do that. It's in your power. Over to you, MC.
Yeah, baby. Can you dig it in?